On the way to a family reunion, my husband went pale and whispered, "Turn the car around now." I was stunned. Why? "Just turn around, please." I trusted him, and it saved us. When I found out why, I never saw my parents the same way again. The plan was simple: leave early, snacks in the back seat, coffee up front, drive a few hours, cross into Silverland, hug some people I haven't seen in a while, and pretend to enjoy potato salad. It was going to be normal, borderline boring, which was honestly the goal. I was driving. I always do, mostly because I hate how my husband brakes at the last possible second, and also because motion sickness is one of my many talents. The kids were semi-conscious in the back seat, half watching a cartoon and half arguing over invisible lines drawn across the seat cushions. All three of them, ages 5, 7, and 10. Tiny chaos and matching neck pillows. It was fine. Not magical, not miserable, just fine. Until he said it. "Turn around now." I didn't react at first. Or, I did, but not in a real way. I laughed or smirked. One of those reflexes you do when you think someone's joking, but not funny enough to deserve a laugh. "Why?" I asked. He didn't answer right away, just stared straight ahead, then said, "Please, just turn around." That's when I knew it wasn't a joke. My husband doesn't do panic. His default settings are calm, and occasionally tired. I've seen him get through a kitchen fire with less tension. So I took the exit, last one before the border. It curved off gently, like the road itself was offering me a second chance. The moment we left the highway, his body relaxed, not all the way, just enough to make it obvious he'd been bracing for something. "Okay," I said. "Want to tell me what's going on now?" He shook his head. "Just drive." "Drive where?" "I don't know. Anywhere but there." The kids were starting to notice. "Are we going the wrong way?" my middle one asked. "We forgot something," I said automatically. "What?" "I'll tell you later." "Is it snacks?" the youngest piped up. I didn't answer. My husband didn't speak again for a long time. We drove in silence. 20 minutes, maybe more. Just miles of trees and guilt pressing on the back of my neck. Then he said, "Take the next turn off." It led to nowhere. A narrow access road with no sign and no real purpose. One of those places you only find when you're lost or about to be. I pulled off. He unbuckled his seatbelt. "Stay here." He got out and walked to the back of the car. I couldn't see anything from where I was, so I just sat there waiting. My hands were sweating. My heartbeat was doing something weird, fast, and heavy, like it knew something I didn't. After a minute, the trunk closed. He came back to my window. "Can you come out?" "Why?" "I need you to see it." He didn't sound angry or scared, just tired. And very, very sure. I got out. He walked me to the back of the car and opened the trunk. Didn't say anything, just pointed. I looked. And then I forgot how to breathe. I wasn't scared. Not yet. Fear was still on its way. What I felt in that moment was something slower, heavier, like falling through the floor of my own life. I didn't touch it. I didn't need to. I just knew we were one wrong choice away from losing everything. Funny thing is, I actually thought I was the responsible one in the family. Not responsible in a pays their taxes and wears sunscreen kind of way, though yes, those too, but in the sense that I thought I could be the stable one. The one who didn't explode or vanish or lie for sport. The one who tried. Looking back now, I can see that being the responsible one in my family was like being the designated driver at a demolition derby. They didn't want help. They wanted cover. And I gave it to them for years. It started when I was a kid. My parents were the kind of people who believed that living well was a matter of image, not money. If you looked successful, seemed generous, had straight Christmas lights, and 5 kinds of mustard in the fridge, you were doing okay. Didn't matter if the gas got shut off. We were doing okay. That was the script. Stick to it or get rewritten. We had years when things were tight. I remember cereal for dinner and working late nights that were code for, "we're broke." And we had years when they were flush. New car, new patio furniture, a new television. The money came and went like weather. What never changed was the spending. Once I asked my dad why we didn't save more. "You don't need to save if you know how to hustle," he said. I was 8. My sister inherited all of this. The shine, the hustle, the gravitational pull of someone who could light up a room while quietly unplugging your self-respect. She was the favorite. That wasn't a secret. They got her. She was like them. I wasn't. I was boring. That's what they called me, sometimes even to my face. Boring. Uptight. Too serious. My mom once said at Thanksgiving that my problem was I mistook discipline for personality. And the wild part? I believe them. Because when you grow up in that kind of house, you start to think love is something you earn by being useful, clean, reasonable. So that's what I did. I became the responsible one. They'd call me for help with insurance claims or when my sister lost another job. I gave what I could. Not too much. Just enough to keep things from falling apart. Just enough to not be the bad guy. Even when they made it hurt. Even when every no was framed as selfishness. Still, I gave. Because they were my parents. Until the ask changed. 4 months before the trip. My sister's son, my nephew, was struggling in school. Bullied, anxious, withdrawn. A therapist recommended a private school. Very exclusive. Very expensive. They couldn't afford it, but they'd gotten him conditionally accepted if they put down a deposit. They just needed a little help. They'd pay me back, of course. My stomach sank the moment they asked. It wasn't that I didn't care. I liked the kid. But I knew this pattern. I knew how it started and how it ended. I said, number. Gently, like I was speaking to someone holding a glass knife. I can't pay for private school. I have 3 kids of my own. I'm sorry. They didn't yell. Just went cold. Of course, my mom said. You have rules. We didn't speak again until the reunion came up. Suddenly, they were cheerful. They'd figured things out. The school, the drive, everything was fine. They asked if we could take an extra bag. Their car was full. We had the SUV. Sure, I said. The morning we left, my dad handed me the red duffel. Won't fit in ours. Just this one. I took it, tossed it in with the luggage. Didn't unzip it. Didn't wonder why they were suddenly so relaxed. I should have. He led me to the back of the car. Opened the trunk. Unzipped the bag. Folded back a sweatshirt. And that's when everything stopped. Inside, stuffed into a child's toiletry bag, sealed in plastic, were packets. Not one, not hidden, just there. Not vitamins, not medicine. The kind of packets that come with handcuffs, lawyers, and headlines. I didn't speak, every muscle locked. He zipped the bag closed and let the silence finish the sentence. They put that in our car, I said. He nodded. With the kids. Another nod. How did you know? I asked. When they gave us the bag, he said. The way they smiled, like it was already done. I got in the car and drove. The kids didn't ask this time. My phone buzzed. First my mom, then my dad, then again, and again. We didn't answer. We already knew what they'd say. Where are you? What happened? Are you okay? Where's the bag? We drove to their house. We didn't talk about it. We just knew what had to happen. We used the fake rock with the key taped inside, same place it had always been. Walked in. Left the bag just inside the hallway. Didn't speak, didn't explain. Just locked the door behind us. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, my mom called. Oh, honey, we were so worried. I said nothing. Where's the bag? I let it hang. Then I said, we dropped it off at your house. If it was that important, I added, maybe you should have taken it yourself. A pause. She knew. I knew. And I said, we're not doing this, don't call again. Then I hung up. That should have been the end. It wasn't. They showed up on a Wednesday. No warning, just the doorbell. I stepped outside, shut the door behind me. We wanted to check in, my mom said. We thought we could clear the air, my dad added. I said nothing. Then, you put that bag in our trunk, with your grandchildren. It wasn't going to be anything, my dad said. Just to help with the debt. You wouldn't help, my mom said. You didn't just betray me, I said. You risked our lives. We're done. Don't call, don't come. You don't get to see the kids. My mom started to speak. You'll come around, she said. You always do. I turned, walked inside, and locked the door. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't wonder if she was right. 3 days later, the kids weren't at school. The teacher said, Oh, your parents already picked them up. They were at my parents' house. Candy, toys, balloons, a Lego set that cost more than a week of groceries. Weaponized affection. We left. The kids whined. I let them keep the toys. I wasn't giving my parents that win. My mom called after me. They'll come back. They always do. That night I said, "We have to leave." He nodded. "You mentioned Crescent Valley before," I said. "Let's go there." He nodded again. "Let's take it." A few months later, we were in Crescent Valley. The air smelled like pine and peace. His parents lived 20 minutes away, warm, grounded, drama-free. One day I got a voicemail from a cousin. "Your mom says she doesn't know where you are. Family matters." I deleted it. We were safe. We didn't disappear. We escaped. 6 months later, an email from my sister. Subject: Emergency, please read. Our parents had been arrested. Again. This time for trying to cross the border themselves. A trunk full of product, no scapegoats. Just two people in their 60-second who still thought rules were suggestions. They needed money for a lawyer. "Your family," she wrote. I replied, "And I did show up once. I'm not doing it again." They pled. 4 years each. Not life-changing, but enough time if they were capable of reflection. We have a life here now. The kids laugh. My husband sleeps. And me? I haven't had to translate guilt into silence in a long time. And as for the rest of it, I don't regret the boundary. Not for a second. But you tell me, did I go too far or not far enough? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, hit subscribe.